Right, good morning, welcome back. Okay, my 3 casings to be fitted today are dry. Now this tough paint, as wonderful as it is, it's not 2-pack paint. It doesn't dry by chemical reaction, it hasn't got a hardener in it, it just cures by air evaporation. And that means that even after a week, that is still quite soft. And this is a vulnerable time. Now to fit the gaskets in the correct way, securely, so they never leak in the way that I like to fit my new gaskets, it means turning them on their painted surface and standing them down that way so I can access the gasket face. And that's a really dangerous thing to do because it's easy to mark your perfect satin surface and it's a tattoo mark that will never go away. So rather than do that, I need to make a clever way of standing them on their face so I can access the gasket surface, but without any marks on there at all. I've got a cunning plan. Need a tool, make a tool. Let's do that first, then I'll put the gaskets on. Welcome back. Right, okay, last of the 3 covers to go now, the big one. But before I put it on, I just want to take a look at the clutch plates. There they are for me to see. Take 5 bolts off, I can pull them all out and inspect them one at a time, make sure they're okay. 17,000 miles, they're going to be all right, but can't be absolutely sure until you pull it apart and have a look. Could have been abused, could have been run low on oil, all sorts of things, you never know. Looking inside the engine as we have done, again, I very much doubt it. But it's the devil you know, isn't it? Let's pull the front cover off, drop the plates out, and just make sure that what I suspect is true, that they're absolutely fine. Then we can bung them back in, bung the cover on, change the filter, put the oil in. Let's have a look. Right, as suspected, that clutch is absolutely like brand new. All the steel plates are absolutely perfect. All the soft plates, they are unmarked, unglazed, and just like literally straight out of the packet. So that is great. Going to wipe it down, put it back in. Right, okay, very quickly, I'm going to say this once. Blue Hylimar on engine casings. Been using this for 35 years and it absolutely works every time. It stays sticky forever. It doesn't dry like a silicone or an RTV, and it's not solid. It stays like a tacky, slimy stuff, and it's perfect for sealing oil joints. It's oil proof. In fact, you can put it on an oily surface, put it together, and it still seals. It doesn't have to have a dry surface. It's great stuff. Now, because it stays sticky forever, put it on the casing, stick the dry gasket to it, then the gasket is stuck to the casing. Just put grease on the other side and against the engine, and when you put it on the motor in the future, you take the cover off again, 20 years from now even, and all of the gasket comes off connected to the casing. Then you can get your knife, and because this stuff doesn't dry, you can just slide it off, and then put a new gasket on. None of that picking and scratching that I had where the gasket rips in half. Half of it stays on the engine, all falling inside your clutch, and the other half's all over the casing. You've got to scrape it all off. If you want an easy life with gaskets, seriously, Hylamar on the casing only, and then grease on the engine side. In the future, not only does it come off cleanly, but in most cases, with a clutch certainly, you can use it again 2 or 3 times. It's absolutely fine. Just fresh grease, put it back, because the gasket, once again, comes off intact. So now you know. Right, there we are. Phew. to say the least. Absolutely flawless. No damage, marks, chips or scratches on any of the 5 casings on the outside of the engine. Really, really happy with that outcome. A stunning result. And it's all sealed and there's some oil in it at the same time. Now, I put some oil in for now just because it's there and I might as well chuck it in. But things like the coolant, well, you've got to run the engine to get that right. And I'm not going to run the engine yet because it's going to be off the road for a few months yet. I don't want to put fuel in the carbs and then it sits there and goes stale. They're nice and bone dry and spotlessly clean at the minute, and I'll leave them that way until I'm ready. I've got to juice up all the brakes and clutch and everything else as well, so all of the other fluids later on. That's those for now. So that's it for today. I've got a little bit to go still, but join us in the next one for something more related to safety. I'll see you then.